At first, I really wanted to do makeup that represented all of the members, but then I quickly realized as I scrolled through TikTok that people really like Mo. Like, they really like Mo. So I figured if that would get me Mo views. It's on my desk.
Your video to the show. On you.
Butt lovers, welcome back to the Lore series where we explore shows that no one else is brave enough to. That one time I did commercials is dead to me until further notice. As always, while the show we are discussing is made for kids, this deep dive is not. Here on the Athena P YouTube channel, we love exploring nostalgia in the most chaotic way possible. So tell your iPad kids to read a book or something and sit this one out. Today we're exploring the Canadian show, The Doodlebops. The main series aired new episodes on CBC Television and Playhouse Disney from 2005 to 2007. The series totaled 65 episodes and 3 seasons overall. Also, despite being a Disney show in the United States, it is nowhere to be found on Disney+.
Michael Mouse, keep your grubby little hands off my Doodlebops.
The series follows a band of colorful characters navigating challenges such as empathy and interpersonal relationships while also rising to superstardom. Let's go over the format of every episode, and I'll also share with you my first impressions of the very first episode. First of all, if you haven't listened to the theme song in a while, do yourself a favor and search that up. It's, and you're not gonna like what I'm gonna say here, but I have to say it, it's right in front of me, it's a doodlebop. Okay? They live up to the name. I also wasn't ready for Rooney's baritone ass to hit this note.
Oh, yes.
I simp for all of them, in all honesty. The theme song also ends with their hand buttons making a bunch of sparklies. Fuck, like this. Whee! Dee Dee and Rooney enter through the clubhouse door announcing it's time for the Doodlebops. After each of them introduce themselves, they're met with animated trumpets. Dee Dee's always sounds very triumphant, and most of the time Rooney's falls flat, leaving him very disappointed. He sometimes even snaps his fingers like, oh, darn it! Oh, just my luck. I theorized right off the bat that those trumpets are a reflection of their confidence, with Rooney's being as low as his voice. But that's actually not the case. We'll get into their band dynamic and Dee Dee's main character complex later. Side note, in the first episode, Photo Op, this is the first and only time we've seen Dee Dee move things with her mind. She said, "Go away, box," and it rolled away. Dee Dee Doodle and Rooney Doodle then realize that Mo Doodle is hiding again and we all have to look for him. When the bit ends, he announces, "Ta-da, here I am." What a lovable scamp. This leads to them introducing themselves for the 3rd time, and that brings us to the Doodlebop Pledge, where they introduce themselves for a 4th time.
Dee Dee!
Rooney! Mo!
Mind you, this happens every episode. Every episode they say their band pledge while waving their flags in the air. In season 2 and 3, they even summon the flag from their own hand button. Here are the lyrics. We promise to share. We promise to care. All together as a team. Just stick to it. We can do it. We can do anything. Stand tall. Say it loud. We're together and we're proud. Dee Dee, Rooney, Mo, doo-doo, yeah. We're the Doodlebops. And the "we can do anything" part is way more accurate than you'd think. It's more of a threat, to be honest. Casual powers with little to no continuity is something they expect us to overlook given how formulaic the rest of the show is. The world bends to their whim, just you wait. After the pledge, the decapitated moose praises them every single time. He is one patriotic fuck. He will make you stand for the Doodlebops pledge, okay? Not once was he like, yesterday's was better. No, he's shitting himself every time despite him not being able to. We'll talk more about the other puppets and their shticks in a bit. Something I noticed right off the bat is how hippy-dippy and trippy this show is, which is actually a common theme in band-driven sitcoms and cartoons. We have the psychedelic vibe of the Beatles' Yellow Submarine, and even the Wiggles share that same vibe. Like, look at their mascot friends. A dinosaur? An octopus? That mixed with the slapstick and sound effect shenanigans of the Monkees and by extension Big Time Rush. Band shows are always kooky, but somehow Doodlebops still takes the cake. The way the Doodlebops jump from subject to subject is not linear or sensical in the slightest. For example, their very first song was somehow inspired by when they were eating celery and drinking this Kool-Aid looking juice together as a group. And then all of a sudden they were singing about getting along? Getting along. Eating celery, drinking juice that's green. This is the song Dee Dee would sing if she wasn't a stinky liar. Ew! That would be a song about what you were doing, but you didn't do that, did you? No. Also, she said she just came up with it, and then they all started singing in perfect harmony together. How do they all know the lyrics already?
His brain! Megan's using his brain to talk to me.
Are they just connected? Sibling power shit. After all, when they high-five, there is like a friendship spark. Their human manager, Maz, emerges from the walls, singing and scatting. She has a talent for rhyming, she has a great relationship with the Doodlebops, which makes her disappearance in season 2 and 3 all the more unnerving. Before going out to play in the park, a rope falls from the ceiling, and Mo has the urge to pull it. Everyone tells Mo not to pull the rope, but every time he does, and water falls on him. He's a bit of a rebel. I think that's why everyone had a crush on him. After they're done playing in the park, they get on the bus. We're introduced to bus driver Bob and the best song of the series.
Come with me, and we'll see all there is to see. You can be who you want to be. We can go anywhere today. Yeah, yeah.
Sometimes they sing a shortened version, but I prefer the extended cut, Taylor's edition, if you will. Hey, come on, we're gonna take a bus ride. Yeah, come on, we're gonna take a bus ride. Bus driver Bob is a national treasure. Where are his fan cams? He's serving for free. The lack of love is New York phobic. I hate to be the bringer of more bad news, but there are multiple audience shots in these concert venues, and the parents, the adults in the audience are giving absolutely nothing. They could not look more dead if they tried. I am so uncomfortable with their lack of energy. Could not be me.
Put me in the Doodlebops pit. I would give the best reactions.
Come with me, and we'll see all there is to see. You can be.
I would get my kids hype. I'd be like, Bus driver Bob's on stage! That's my favorite character! The Fine Bros would try to sue me with all the reactioning I'm doing, okay? During their concert, a screen also rolls down showing clips of them in their house. In universe, I don't think it's scripted though. I think it's like a reality TV show or documentary where the cameras are always rolling. It's like the Kardashians, but if they actually had talent.
You can be who you want to be.
The scenery is just as alive as the characters are. Their clubhouse kind of reminds me of the Odd Squad headquarters in that there's definite teleportation and mystical forces at play. We've seen elephants, aliens, penguins in their trap doors and cabinets, and the regular inhabitants are just as off the wall. Don't you mean on the wall? But this is not just limited to their space. The bus is also alive, not just with its transformative abilities, but also in Season 1, Episode 13, the bus's engine starts talking. Concerning? Absolutely. But that's not even the weirdest part, because this bus was not born. Bob built it out of a kit.
I built this bus from a kit. There were a gazillion parts and a pile of instructions like you wouldn't believe.
This means Bob was not only casually able to build a bus, but also a living creature. Bob is this bus's god.
What if God's name was
This bus can also turn into a boat, train, plane, and in Season 2, Episode 25, it also turns into a rocket, bringing the Doodlebops to the moon just because they felt like it. This bus also has a VR projector that can put them in different surroundings around them, which seems kind of unsafe to drive while that's on, but that doesn't stop Bob. Is this something that only they have access to because they're the biggest band in the world, or is this high tech available to everybody? Regardless of who can use this decked out bus, it's clear that even this world's pedestrians have a very different reality from ours. Season 1, Episode 4, we see a cauliflower forest. The next episode altogether now, we see a giant chameleon chasing the bus. All of this is done with photo puppetry, which, you know if you've watched my Wonder Pets lore video, I love that medium. It's so underutilized. It's always so weird to watch, but I'm obsessed. Really wish they used more photo puppetry after Season 1, but there was kind of a shift to 3D animation, which is fine, I guess. More unnatural forces alive in this universe are the gibble gobble gabble nabber backwards kind of days. This is seen in Season 1, Episode 17, when Dee Dee starts speaking like a Simlish type of language out of nowhere, and Mo doesn't even feel like hiding. Maz is very calm about this, stating that it's just a gibble gobble gabble nabber backwards kind of day, which makes it sound like a kind of opposite day or April Fool's Day, but I don't think it's as cutesy as that because this seems out of their control. In Season 3, Episode 7, Mo's Dinosaur, there's a casual Jurassic Park that's seen. So clearly where we are is a different reality. Now let's discuss the when. Because while we're following their goofy day-to-day life, it's clear that this shift starts to happen. Things start changing, especially season to season. The housemaid Housemates of season 1 were Mudge the Grumpy Cat, the Moosehead, and the 2 decapitated old ladies. Yeah, the old ladies were kind of like those heckling old man Muppets, and I kind of liked them. They were so out of place, it was amusing. Season 2, Mudge and the Moose are safe, but unfortunately Greta and Gertrude, those are not canon names, I just made that up, were voted off the island.
The trap has spoken.
Instead of them, there was this chicken. And is it weird that this chicken freaks me out more? Firstly, throughout season 1 we had this chicken character, so I don't know what kind of fuck shit happened to this chicken to make it look like that, or is that the same chicken? What came first, the chicken, the egg, or the accident? It even pops up in the background of season 3's bus ride song, and put it away. Consider my Hebe's G-Bead. And to make matters even more fun, she has magical abilities. In season 3, episode 5, The Chicken and the Eggs, we discovered that she can communicate through her eggs. A green egg with a check mark for yes, a red egg with an X for no, and a purple egg with a question mark for I don't know. It actually took her a while to confess that she didn't know because she was having so much fun spending time with the Doodlebops, and she was convinced that they wouldn't want to spend time with her anymore if she didn't pretend to be the prophet that they thought she was. Which is low-key kind of sad, especially considering she's right. They never brought her on a trip again. But any empathy I had for her completely disappeared by the end of the episode when she laid an egg with bus driver Bob in it. Why does she keep summoning people to be laid by her? There's gotta be another way of saying that. Season 2 also introduced their producer, Audio Murphy. His whole section of recording the new song, recording the music video, and the section of them teaching the dance takes up the part of the episode where they used to go out and play. A whole day of work just became a lot busier for the Doodlebops. Even the bus ride song is no longer a song between pals. Now the bus transforms into a stage, so even then they're performing. The grind never stops. In season 1, they were also seen greeting fans outside every single episode. In season 2, they didn't do this as much, and by season 3, they weren't doing this at all anymore. We are starting to finally see the price of fame. And for the last change, their manager, Maz, is gone. And while their new manager, Jasmine, is still very fun, like, I like her character too, the fact that Maz's disappearance is just not addressed is kind of concerning. Was Maz fired? Both Maz and Jasmine talk and rhyme, scat, come out of the wall, and have magical snapping abilities. When Maz snaps, it sparkles, and another time when she snapped, she made the number blocks disappear in the episode The Bad Day. When Jasmine snaps, she can make herself disappear, or as seen in the episode The Best Hider Ever, she also snaps and summons a red carpet. Whether it's Maz or Jasmine, the Doodlebops are always amazed by the snapping power, stating, "How does she do that?" With all these similarities between characters, it would have been so easy to explain. Like, if I were writing this, I would be like, oh, Jasmine is Maz's mom. Maz decided to pursue a solo career of her own. That would have taken 2 seconds. I don't know why they didn't do that. I don't know why they just pretend Maz didn't exist from season 2 onward. Well, maybe they aren't pretending. Maybe they just completely forgot. What? In season 2, episode 6, Switch a Doodle, they claim they've never played each other's instruments before, except they did, in the Gibble Gobble Gabble Nabber backwards kind of day. Do they remember anything from season 1? Has fame changed them? Did Jasmine help them achieve a whole new level of clout that they forgot what friendship is all about?
You and me, we're like brothers, only closer.
The question on my mind as I watch this trio is, will this band tear them apart? Surprisingly, I think the answer is no. Because while they took the weekend off to go on separate trips as seen in the episode See You Later, Alligator, I truly believe they are way too reliant on each other. One of the biggest recurring obstacles is when one of them has a hobby that's getting in the way of the band. This is seen in the episode Bring a Sound Around Her. Rooney, as well as being a guitarist and singer, is also an inventor. And in this episode, a bunch of people want to buy his invention, so he gets kind of swamped with business. So much so that the other two, Mo and Dee Dee, fear that he's leaving the band.
Do you think he's planning on quitting the band?
Wild thing to say in front of all the fans, by the way. But like, Rooney can have a side hustle, guys. It's kind of alarming how quickly they jumped to that conclusion and just made him feel bad about it. Another example of this is in Robo-Mo. When Mo wanted to go to his first rock and roll drummers meeting, Dee Dee was so quick to tell him that he couldn't because of all the things the band had to do that day.
Well, that's great, Mo, but you can't go.
Dee Dee got sick in the episode The Ew Flower and lost her voice in the episode Show and Tell, but in both episodes she still went to the show and miraculously got her voice back. Why is she still working? Rest! They put their everything into this band. There is not one episode where they aren't performing. And their priorities are clearly uneven because as much as Rooney and Mo love the band, it's clear that Dee Dee cares the most. I get the feeling that even when the boys get sick of this lifestyle, they'll keep it going for Dee Dee, which is not only unhelpful for them, but I also think it's unhelpful for Dee Dee. Dee Dee, on top of her love of performing, is also the bossiest and the most prone to having her ego inflated and start to power trip. This is seen in the episodes Queen for a Dee Dee and Dee Dee Superstar. On top of that, she's also the most likely to annoy Mudge the grumpy cat, and it's an ongoing bit that is a little bit weird. It was more malicious in season 1, but in seasons 2 and 3, he seems to be in on the joke and is just overall happier. Except for one time in the season 2 episode Space Invader, when Mo's hiding place was Mudge's mirror, and he reacted like this.
Hey, Mudge, have you seen Mo?
No, I haven't.
Very funny, Mo, but the jig is up.
Ta-da! Here I am. Okay, that's it. You are out of here. This isn't a playground. This is my home, you know.
I haven't seen Mudge that mad in a while, dude, and I hate to say it, but he's justified here. If that's his house, and he has to deal with the main characters just filming there and making a ton of noise constantly and being enabled by their fans, that's infuriating, and all the while his hot dog business is probably failing.
Who's there?
Byron!
Byron!
Buy one, get one free!
Buy one? I would buy any. You never buy a hot dog, never buy one. Always with the knock dog. Never buy!
There are no sense of boundaries and they're constantly laughing at you for trying to set them. And if you piss them off, they can sick their stands on you. Now for the question you probably clicked on this video to find out.
What the fuck is that fucking thing? What the fuck?
The Doodlebops are seen as having a lot of different abilities. Sometimes they're super fast, in Mo's case they're super loud, they got the hand sparklies, and Mo also starts shrinking for some of his hiding places, not using any of Rooney's inventions from what we've seen. This is just something he's able to do. Dee Dee is also seen having some sort of magical wishing ability, as seen in Tap 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 and Think Pink. In Tap Tap Tap, she wished for magic dancing shoes and they just appeared, and when she put them on, she couldn't stop dancing, so she had to kick them off. In Think Pink, here's where shit gets really weird. Dee Dee makes a wish to make anything pink, and with her button hand, when she touches anything, she is able to do that. It's kind of like a baby version of the Midas touch. We also learn in this episode that each of the bandmates' favorite colors are the colors they are. Very convenient. Another quick side note, the favorite color song is so funny. Mo just totally gave up on his lyrics. When Dee Dee sings about thinking pink, she talks about cotton candy and pretty roses. When Rooney sings, he mentions the ocean and the sky with a bird in motion. Mo just keeps singing that he's thinking about a pumpkin. He sings that twice. He couldn't think of anything else that's orange. Just a fucking pumpkin. You could have threw in sunsets or fire, but no, dude, pumpkin. So anyway, their solution was just to wish her wish away. They have true manifestation powers, and their songs have a high vibrational energy, okay? One last ability I have to mention is in the episode Flat-Situs, Rooney gets a case of flat-situs because he's not moving around enough. And as a result, he turns into this cursed Flat Stanley looking thing. At the end of the episode, this is solved by them calling for a code doodle. This is when they call on their fans for help to give them their energy. Can you say parasocial? So with all these things in mind, I'm thinking alien for sure, but I checked their wiki and it says human. I guess we've seen other humans with magical abilities, but I still had my doubts. Like, they are pink, blue, and orange, bro.
God, look how orange you look, girl.
But in the episode A Different Look, the Doodlebops fans could not recognize them in their different clothes. I understand most of them are children, but there were also adults in the crowd. Are pink, blue, and orange humans just the norm in this world? So then my brain kind of went to an experiment gone wrong kind of thing, or like evolution. But both of those things had to have happened a long time ago. In the episode Growing Mo, we see a flashback of them when they were younger. I wish we learned about their upbringing. Oh wait, we do! Behind the Makeup is a documentary about the Doodlebops uploaded by the creator Carl Lennox. Everyone is still in character, but has a way more chill improvisational feel for the interview sections. The interviews don't make up the entire 48-minute runtime, as it's spliced with footage from concerts and season 2 clips. But within these interviews, we actually learn a lot of origin story stuff, believe it or not. We learn that these three grew up on a farm. Humble beginnings. Dee Dee credits her musical inspiration to their parents, who I wish we could have seen. They also shared the story of how they started the band when they were singing with clucking chickens. Like, it all happened all at once. They were just jamming. They were just feeling the vibe.
I think Dee Dee was kind of mainly the instigator.
It was amazing. I mean, I learned from chickens.
And all of a sudden they started clucking.
Seriously, chickens.
And I think it was Dee Dee who kind of caught the beat of the clucks.
Just cluck, cluck, cluck.
She just started singing along with the chickens. She sounded great.
I started singing with them. Went from there.
And then Mo found some old milk containers and started banging on them. He was kind of clucking a beat, and I was like, oh.
And it's clear through the three of them talking that Mo was kind of just dragged into this. This was really Rooney and Dee Dee's dream. He said, and I quote, the rock star thing? Well, I don't know if it was my dream. I didn't really know it was an option, I think. Another absolutely wild clip from Mo. The hiding has kind of come with us from the farm. Like when I was a little kid. It's kind of how I hold on to my innocence.
It's how I kind of hold on to my innocence.
Jesus, Mo, are you okay? Innocence? What have you been exposed to? What have you seen? Mo's actor is so fucking funny in this. And I just love hearing his actual voice. It's very Canadian Surfer.
I think it's really funny that they can't find me. And that they get so frustrated trying to find me because they can't do the show without finding me.
This special has no right being as funny as it was. This clip that I'm about to show you genuinely made me wheeze.
You keep on trying, even if, let's say your guitar playing doesn't sound the greatest at the beginning. You give it a shot. I wasn't the greatest guitar player. Now look at me, I'm driving a bus.
Now let's talk about the Rockin' Road show. The last episode of the main series established that they were going on a world tour, and that's kind of where Rockin' Road show picks up. This reboot aired in 2010, 3 years after the last episode of the original Doodlebops. In the cartoon, they have a dog named Bop Bop, and there's also this mail snail, which is a robot that delivers mail to them. And the mail that they receive are DVDs from live-action children fans telling them a problem that they're facing. The Doodlebops decide to make these kids their doodle of the day, and they cartoonify them to help them with the problem. I would honestly consider this more as a spin-off and less as a reboot. Sure, it follows the same characters, but the formatting, world, and vibe is just so different. Plus, the world tour that they mentioned in the main series was rooted in real places, whereas this series takes place in the DoodleNet, which was never established before or mentioned. A comment on the Doodlebops wiki theorizes that this is an in-universe cartoon, which would make sense because in the show, this band is so famous that where they're from, presumably Canada, is so used to them going on national tours that maybe while they're going on their world tour, they release this cartoon to hold over their fans while they're gone, so they don't miss them too much. But this was also never confirmed, so we could also take what we see here as canon. One thing I need to point out is in this world we see way more unnaturally colored humans. In the OG, we only saw our three Doodlebops, but here we see humans like these purple and green guys. As much as this confirms humanity evolving into rainbow people to justify them being humans theory, I have to go back to that in-universe cartoons comment because I just noticed where are their hand buttons? That is a Doodlebop staple and it's nowhere to be seen. This show was so much fun. The songs got extremely stuck in my head. Yeah, come on inside. We're gonna take a bus ride. We're gonna take a bus ride! As seen in my memberships live when I was making this inspirational quote from the show as well. There's a new tomorrow for us. Every single day. And now I'm very jealous of anybody who got to see them live. You're living my dream. If this show has made any sort of impact on your life as much as it has on mine, or if you just enjoyed this video, please join me in sending your well wishes and good thoughts to the actor who played Mo, Johnny Wexler. He's had a rough couple of years and I just really hope he's doing better. Thank you genuinely for sharing your talent with the world. I hope you have a great day, butt lovers. Bye!